Hello, everybody, and welcome to Taco Tuesday. This is your host with the most, Space Ghost, Coast to Coast, Hebro77 here, and I've got Armor Up with me tonight. So I think we're going to have one heck of a Taco Tuesday. What do you think, brother?
I guess we shall see.
I wanted to do a special shout out at this time to Sagittarically Speaking. Today is his birthday, so happy birthday wishes to him, and we hope to see him back again soon.
Yep, for sure. Happy birthday, Saggy.
And I see we got Connie Joe Wood in the house. Oh, I'm sorry, CJ. She goes by
CJ Wood.
So let's see how that goes. If you had a woodchuck and it chucked wood, and you had two woodchucks, and they were in the forest, and you have the two woodchucks, which means there's two of them. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? There, I said it.
You said it all right. Howdy, sold it. Sold it in the house.
All right, Salted Cedar, man. Good to see you, brother. Good to see everybody here tonight on Taco Tuesday. I got to tell you something, man. I got some strange stories. I got to tell you. The first one isn't so strange. The first one's just a childhood memory. But I was thinking, it's funny how our memories work. It's like I can actually remember all the way back when I was 2 years old and in a playpen, and my mom was trying to sing songs to me to get me to calm down. I think I was crying like a baby. And, I wanted to go back up to my grandparents' house. They were up. I missed them, I guess. And I started crying like a little baby. And she was trying her best to keep me quiet, and then she put on a record. And I even remember the record. It was an ABC record. But it's funny how I can remember things from way back then, but then I get up in the morning, I can't remember where I put my car keys.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's weird. I remember stuff from childhood too, and I can't remember what I had for supper yesterday.
Yeah. That happens. Let me ask you this. Have you ever gone into a room, like you get up to go get something, you go into a room, and then by the time you get to that room, you forgot why you went in there?
Oh, yeah. Yep, I'll go shopping and get everything except what I was supposed to have went to get shopping. That happens. So I don't shop much anymore.
Yeah, it can be distracting. I mean, you see stuff in there like, oh, I need that, or oh, I need this, or like you said, you go in for one item, you come out with about 16 items.
Everything but the one. Hey, CJ said Roy Orbison's dead again.
Huh. What?
Guess I'll miss him again.
Oh, man. Yeah, I thought he died in the 80s.
Yeah, pretty much. Right after the Traveling Wilburys were just getting pretty big. In fact, they did a big tribute to him, actually.
Oh, really?
Traveling Wilburys, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that was, who the heck was that? There was him, Tom Petty. I think, was Dylan in it? Maybe Dylan. There was a bunch of them. They called themselves the Traveling Wilburys.
Oh, cool.
They already had a couple albums. They had awesome songs, though. Handle with Care. And that was one of my favorites of theirs.
Oh, yeah. I liked Handle with Care. That was a good one. Now, if Tom Petty dies again, I'll be freaked out totally, because I know he died. I know he's dead. So, or at least I think he is.
We knew Urbanson was dead too. But that didn't mean much.
Yeah, true.
I knew Jim Neighbors died twice. That don't seem to matter.
No.
Well, 3 times now. I guess he's still dead. Who knows about that one? He's already died 3 times. Maybe he'll be back. Give us Christmas though.
That would be one of those ones, like I said earlier. There was somebody I was trying to think of. I can't think of him now. Maybe it was Roy Orbison.
George Harrison, CJ said too.
I think George Harrison died a while back, didn't he?
I don't know. Never was much in the Beatles.
I think the only one still alive is Paul.
That's what I thought. Poe was the only one left. But like I said, I don't know. I don't ever watch TV or news or nothing. And he said the only reason I know Orbison died is because I was really into the Wilburys then and used to go to Buku concerts. And I remember.
Man, I am out of cigarettes. You're going to have to keep me in check, brother.
CJ said, did we see her musical Christmas card? No.
Oh.
I didn't see it. And I'm subbed too. Let me go look. See if maybe I got unsubbed. Good old YouTube's been doing that.
Oh, they do that to a lot of people.
Oh, no, I'm still subbed.
I see we got Go-Kart Bob in the house.
Yeah, go Kurt Bob. Howdy, Bob. Oh, no, she said she meant he was with the Traveling Wilburys. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I thought she put out a musical Christmas card. I was all excited. Went to her channel.
Right.
I missed it.
I had Spanish rice. Oh, sorry, I'm verbal. It's hard for me to. Okay, so yeah, I had Spanish rice earlier, and I put some chili beans in it. And I know you're supposed to put kidney beans, but I put chili beans in it and chicken, and that was really good with the chili beans in it. I thought it was awesome. The only thing I wish I had me some habanero sauce put in there. It would have made it better. But I don't have any sauces over here anymore.
Oh man, how could you live sauceless? I gotta have sauce in my life.
Yeah, I ran out. I need to get to the store and give me some sauces, man. And that's the other thing is I've used up almost all my hot peppers. I got the habanero and hot banana peppers left. Everything else I used up, and then I got ready to add some hot peppers to it from the last bag I had. And when I pulled the chicken out of the freezer, my hot peppers, they're in a bag, but they fell in a puddle of my dirty dishwater that leaks underneath the sink, and that sounds funny. So I was like, well, those are gone. I'm throwing them away. I'm not going to try to open that plastic bag, and yuck.
Yeah, heck, I still got, I don't know how many jars of hot peppers out of the garden this year. We got probably half a dozen jars, maybe a dozen. Got a bunch.
Man, I tell you, you should send me some of that stuff, man. That'd be awesome. I'll pay for it. Send me a jar. Send me a jar or two. I'll pay for them.
That's probably illegal nowadays.
Oh, you think so?
I don't know. Seriously though, it may be. I don't know. Can you legally ship food? If you're not a major corporation?
Man, that would be messed up. I remember.
They always ask you that kind of stuff when you ship stuff. Is it food? Is it perishable? Is it dangerous? Is it?
Oh, yeah. I never thought about that. You might be right, dude. You know what? We have unlimited well, I won't say unlimited, but mostly unlimited information at our fingertips. So I'm going to go ahead and look that up.
Cool. Whoa, Bob said he heard us talking about the Beatles. He's trying to say Ringo Starr's still alive. Ringo. I thought Ringo was the first one that died. Now my mind's confused, which ain't hard at this age. But I could have sworn Ringo was the first one that died. Of course, I could be thinking of Keith Moon, too, another famous drummer. I don't know. Because I was never really into the Beatles, so. Yeah, I know John died. He got shot in the elevator because that was a big joke. What was his last hit? Elevator Floor.
Oh, yeah.
Howdy, Dave East. Dave East joined us.
All right, cool. Well, Armor, are you ready for this one? Here's what I found. Okay.
All right.
On the food.
I don't.
All right, here we go. So I looked up, can you send food through the mail? And it says perishable items that are materials that can deteriorate in the mail, such as live animals, food, plants, permissible perishable items are sent at the mailer's own risk. These items must be specially packaged and mailed so they arrive before they begin to deteriorate. So I guess the short answer is yes. Yes, you could still ship food.
All right. Yeah, these ain't really perishable, though, because they're canned.
Right.
I guess they're still perishable, but it takes like years.
Right.
Unless you open them.
Now, I did find something else on shipping restrictions. I'm going to look at that real quick. Let's see what the shipping restrictions are. Yeah, you know what? Getting back to Ringo Starr, I kind of almost want to agree with him on that because I do remember something about Ringo Starr. I know he was a guest spot on The Simpsons, but that's been years ago. And that was in the 90s, I think. So I don't know. Ringo Starr.
Yeah, beats me. Said I think I might have been thinking of Keith Moon when I was thinking about the drummer that died. He died pretty young.
Okay, here's what I got. I got something else. What you may ship domestically is regulated by the U.S. and USPS guidelines. Here you will find important tips and information on blah, blah, blah that are prohibited, completely forbidden, and restricted only under certain guidelines. So I'm going to click that. And we'll see here. This is kind of an interesting question because I know, like my grandpa used to mail tomatoes. He used to ship tomatoes. He had a cousin in Arizona, and he had a brother that was in Michigan, and he used to ship tomatoes to them all the time. But like you said, that's been, years ago, and a lot of the guidelines have changed.
Yeah. Yeah, well, now that I think about it, people do ship cookies and fruitcakes and all that kind of stuff around, so. Davey says Ringo's still touring, so go Ringo.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
That's Dude's got to be like 70.
Yeah, he's and I'm gonna cheat here. I'm gonna look it up. That's another good one to look up.
I mean, I'm 56, so yeah, he's got to be pressing 70.
Ringo Starr. Let's see here. Ringo
79, Davey said. You're too slow.
Oh, Dave. Man.
79. Holy smoke. Yeah. Still touring. Bob guessed 75.
July 7th, 1940.
1940. Yep, that'd be 79. Dave knows his Ringo. All right, cool, Connie Joe. My email is really slow, but I'm sure I'll get it sooner or later.
So I got a couple cool stories. One of them's not a very cool story at all, but it is a pretty good memory. Um, and then if you got any cool childhood stories you want to share, you go ahead and do that. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit you with these two. And I think one of them is going to be like one of them I think we might have talked about before on another shifty whoops on a shifty Sunday. Um, but I'll go ahead and mention it tonight anyway, since that's been a while, and that was Shifty Sunday. This is Taco Tuesday. So probably about the time, I don't know the exact age, but I'm going to guess about 2 or 3 years old. I had this little dog toy, and the dog toy came with three little balls. Uh,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
uh,
You're telling me your parents bought you dog toys? Couldn't they afford Mattel?
Good one, man. Good one. Okay. No, that's right, man. I had a chew toy, and I had one of those little things that has a bell on the end of it, and yeah, man, I had actual dog toys. I think I had a dog bed too. So, oh man. Okay, let me rephrase that. Oh man, you kill me.
I was going to say that would really explain a lot. But carry on. Do proceed.
Okay, I will carry on. Let me rephrase that. Um, I had a toy that was a dog, and he came with these. I think it might have been three or four, but it was four little blue balls. Hold on, I gotta mute myself.
Wait a minute. This is getting worse. Now you're telling me you had a toy dog that had four blue balls. I totally understand now, brother. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh man, no. Oh yeah, this is not going well.
Interesting story.
Okay, let me not describe the color, but just that he had. I'm describing the color because it shows you how good my memory was, but this is it didn't come out right at all. He had four little little balls, and this is going to be this. It's going to get a lot worse. Trust me. And he had this mouth that opened up. Oh boy, here we go. And he would put the balls. The balls would go in his mouth.
Your channel is marked not for children, correct?
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's hope.
They would go in his mouth and they would pop out, and then like he would chase after him.
Where did they pop out of, or do I want to know?
No, they popped out of his mouth. They popped back out of his mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least that's good.
But boy, Saji would love this. Oh boy. Okay, let me let me gather myself up. Basically, that, and then I remember one of those balls got lost when I was a kid, and my mom and stepdad at that time lived back here in this apartment that I'm living in now, and it was in a lot better condition then. But years later, when I moved into the apartment, I had this heater, and it was one of those big I don't want to say furnace, but it was like a big gas heater. And I mean, those big stand-up gas heaters. And then eventually it ended up breaking down and we had to get it replaced. And when we got it replaced, we replaced it with all baseboard heating, which is terrible, by the way. I wouldn't recommend it for anybody. But anyway, I look underneath as soon as they moved that heater out there, and guess what I saw? I saw one of those.
The blue ball.
I saw the blue ball. Yeah.
Awesome.
The blue ball was underneath that thing all those years since I was little.
That's wild.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to have to go get some cigarettes because I'm about to tell the scary story. I'm about to tell the story.
Ooh, story.
Huh?
Scary story.
Let's see if you resonate with this. Let's see if you know about witch ladies, right?
I've met a few in my day.
Oh, okay.
Dated a couple.
Right. And I'm sure you didn't call them witch.
Oh yeah, certainly.
Oh, okay.
They were proud of it.
Okay.
They was all proud of it at that time.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Like actual witches.
Well, yeah, ain't that what you're talking about?
Oh, yeah. No, I was totally on a different level there for a second. Okay, I'm back. But no, listen, I gotta go get some cigarettes, man. I gotta go get some. I can't sit here and not smoke and talk. It's impossible. It won't take me long.
Why'd you start the broadcast then?
I don't know. I should have been prepared, right? I know. You know me.
Now you got nothing here all alone when I already told you I ain't got nothing to say.
Oh, I'm sure you can think of things to say. Talk about your t-shirts. Talk about your coffee mugs. Talk about.
I don't talk about that crap.
Read a scripture. That could kill some time.
Everybody calls it crap but me, but they are pretty cool. I got me a banner. I got me a couple shirts. I like them. And that's why I made them, because you can't buy good shirts anywhere else. So I made my own.
There you go.
Don't cost nothing to make them anyway.
Yeah. I still haven't gotten me a Shifty Sunday shirt yet. You know that?
Jeez, I even got mine on today.
Have you?
Yep.
Oh, man. We should have had you. You should have saved it for Shifty Sunday so you could show it.
Well, I know.
Let all these good people know what they're missing out on.
I can show it anyway, even if it ain't Shifty Sunday.
That's true. You don't mind, do you?
See if I can get my camera to go. I
God
don't know what it'll be pointing at. Let's see.
Well, hopefully the shirt.
How do I turn it? Oh, there we go. Hey, there's a handsome dude. Whoop, this way.
All right, man, that looks good.
There's the front. I'll try to give you the back, but I ain't gonna be able to see if I'm lined up or not. Which way I need to go?
Move a little bit to the right. Right.
This way?
Yeah. And still can't. Okay, right there. Yeah. Shifty Sunday, armor up, Hebrew, and can't see the rest of Sagittariusly speaking.
How that?
To the right.
My right, your right.
My right.
This
Okay,
way.
a little bit more. Right there. Boom. Perfect.
Boom.
There it is. Wow. Look at that, guys.
All right, Pop, be good.
Ladies
I'm
and
so
gentlemen.
excited because I'm standing up. Yeah, it did turn out pretty good. I like it on the dark blue.
Yeah. The dark blue almost kind of looks black on your camera, though.
Yeah. All right, that's enough camera time.
All right.
Hi. Whoops, that ain't the right button. See, now I'm stuck on my camera. How do we turn it? Oh, there we go.
There you go. Armor, I tell you what. You know.
Oh, the things you don't get me to do.
Hey, me and Fizzy. Me and Fizzy. Fizzy gets you guys to do all kinds of things, is what I heard. She puts all them costumes on you guys. But I do appreciate it, man. I'm not saying I don't appreciate it now. I do. Trust me. What did you guys what did you guys all think out there? Thinking about buying one now? Huh? Are you? Well, no.
Christmas is coming. Don't forget to shop early for Christmas. Oh, yeah, good there, Bob. I heard of Living Waters. That's the Banana Man, right? Is that the station you mean, the Banana Man? I'm sub to him. I think his is Living Waters. I think that's what it's called.
Furious.
They call him the Banana Man, the Banana Preacher.
Let me ask you something, Armor. Have you ever seen an atheist video? There's these guys. This one guy, he makes cartoons and does atheist videos. And for the most part, they're kind of blasphemous, but he does all the scriptures and stuff and tries to point out, how weird they are and how the God of the Old Testament was killing babies and this and that and the other. And I wrote him a letter back, a letter. I wrote him a comment. Man, I couldn't think straight there for a second. And basically told him how my mind was changed, when I started thinking about it. I told him, well, you're right about one thing, that God is an evil God indeed, because what I believe is the God of the Old Testament, it is not the Father, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know if he's Satan. Probably Satan. I don't know.
You better be careful. If you say that, they'll call you Satan. Trust me. I know.
Well, let them call me that. That's just the way I believe. I don't believe that any kind of loving God could smash babies or ask for blood sacrifices or, have a bunch of animals burned, a big old pile. What was that one thing that guy burned all of them animals all the way up? Like had this huge animal pile, was burning them all. What kind of loving God does that to his people? That's what you got to stop it.
Theirs does, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. They shall believe what they want to believe.
That's where I used my discernment at. As I before you even made that video, I had thought about it for years, like putting it in terms of, like, I never put two and two together and ever thought that he was the enemy, but I also never truly believed that was the one true God, the Father, the one
CJ.
that, huh?
CJ said, are you trying to say that Satan created the earth? No, not at all. I'm trying to say he took over it, just like Jesus said. He corrupted the earth. He didn't make it. He can't create. All he can do is screw creation up.
That's why he's jealous of us.
Yeah, we're creators. They're not.
Yeah. That's why he got jealous of us. He got jealous of the angels. All of those angels that became fallen angels got jealous of us, because God favored us over the angels and over everybody, over everything, and he didn't like that.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to go on a tangent there about that stuff. I know you don't really like to repeat it,
Oh, I don't mind repeating it, but everyone has already heard it, so they've already made their mind up. It's out of my hands, as they say. But I'm happy to talk about it. Most people just don't like to. Man hates admitting they're wrong. Pride's a bitch.
$1 million. John, you mean John the Baptist? Did you see what?
He's talking about John. He's talking about John Lennon. Aren't you reading the chat at all?
No.
About it. Interview that the Banana Man had with an atheist about John Lennon.
Okay. I'm sorry.
How could you shoot John the Baptist? They didn't even have guns then.
No, I'm saying, okay. I'm saying, like, if you took John the Baptist and brought him into modern times, and then, like, or like if a person went back into the past, like if he had a time machine, is what I thought he was talking about, and asking them that if they had a time machine, went back, if they were paid $1 million, if they would shoot John the Baptist. That's what I thought was going on. See how far out of it I am when I ain't got my cigarettes?
Your mind is a terrible thing to waste, my son.
I know.
Terrible thing to waste.
Oh, bro.
Quite the creative thinking. I will give you that.
I don't even think you could gather enough money back then to make up $1 million. Would they?
Well, yeah. Would it be $1 million their time or our time? That would make that would be big on my decision. Because $1 million their time would be like $12 now. So
I see. Yeah, that wouldn't be very good. But
cool. Yeah, I think I've probably seen it, Bob. Like I said, I follow the Banana Man, but I don't remember if I seen that one or not. I watch most of his vids. A lot of them getting very repetitive though. Once you've seen them, it's basically always the same thing. He always gets them to admit they're lying, thieving, adulterous, fornicating people, and then shows them how they need Jesus. He's pretty good. He saves a lot of people. I seen he just went back to, I think it was somewhere over there. He's over, I believe it's in Australia, somewhere over there. And he just went back to somewhere. He went like a skate park or something, and actually ran into a couple kids he had talked to. Now by kids, I mean like teenagers. He had talked to a month or a few weeks before, and they were actually had still had been changing their lives. They were still, professing to believe and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's a pretty cool dude. But like I said, his videos, once you see 5 or 6, you've seen them all, because it's always the same thing. Great way to approach people, though.
I'll tell you what, man. I'd like.
Did you read,
Huh?
Did you read what Connie said there? She has a comment.
Ooh, that would. Oh man, that'd be horrible. That sounds like a lack of oxidation in the blood. What that sounds like.
Yeah, it turned blue. That's definitely lack of oxygen.
Every time I go to the doctor, my lungs turn out great. I've had all good x-rays. My oxygen levels are 100%. My everything's good. Everything's all good. The day the doctor says, well, now we found a spot on your lungs, that's the day I'm going to throw away them cigarettes. If cigarettes really do cause lung cancer, because they still haven't proven cigarette smoke does cause lung cancer. Now, the breathing thing, I don't know. The blue finger, the hand turning blue, I don't know anything about that. That might be. I don't know. I'm not saying it is or isn't, but I'm just saying lung cancer. They yet to prove that it causes lung cancer. They're still researching it, as far as I know, right?
Well, they never really prove anything. They just go by the average statistics. I mean, there's no proof of nothing really when it comes to the medical field, in my opinion. They just go by generalizations. Most people who smoke get cancer. So let's say smoking causes lung cancer. Well, what about all these people who never smoked that got it? Oh, I know, secondhand smoke. Oh, good idea. That's how the medical field works, my friend.
Yeah. That's how medical field. It's like a George Carlin joke that I heard once. He said, "That's all doctors are is guesswork and white coats."
Pretty much all they can do is give you statistics.
Yeah.
They don't really know. If they knew, they could cure, but they don't like the cure. So, and we all know they got cures for most of that crap anyway. Why do you think the so-called them live to be so old?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, and like Bob said, doctors blame everything on tobacco, and they do. They absolutely do. It's the first thing they say: quit smoking, quit smoking, quit smoking. And like Bob said, I know lots of people who ain't never smoked a cigarette in their life and still got all the same diseases the ones of us who smoke cigarettes get. So that's why I have I have absolutely zero faith in the medical community. Never did, never will. Doctors are good if you have a broken bone, you need it set. Stitch, might need a stitch, they'd be good for that. But then so's most medics that are trained well in the service. So, but yeah, as far as curing a disease, there's only one doctor that can cure you, and he ain't got no white coat. He's got a white robe, though. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
No coat.
Well, I seriously, I'll be right back, man. I hate to do this to you. I know you ain't got nothing to talk about, but just make something up. I'll be right back. Sorry.
All right. Hopefully the cat the cat. Here, kitty, kitty. I ain't even got a cat. Hopefully the chat will interact with. Hey, did you leave yet? Hebrew. Darn it, I was going to say you could put the phone number up. I do got the phone lines up. Hold on. Let me get the number. I'll throw it in there. Maybe someone will want to call in. Kill time. All right, let me see how I can do this. Copy it over here. Paste. Pin. All right, there's the number in the chat if anybody wants to call in. If not, you'll just have to sit here and listen to dead air unless you have a question or something to talk about. Bob got a doctor's appointment in the morning. No sweat, Bob. I got to go every so often, too, for the stupid VA. So I go to them. I just don't put much mind into what they say. Talk about how Santa's an anagram for Satan. Why you wanted this the big red man? It is an anagram for Satan, but I don't buy into all that crap. Put the joy back in it. Why we want to always give the enemy back what he already stole? I never got that. No offense, but yeah. I've said many times, I don't care what it was invented for. Father can make anything good. So if I can make my grandchildren happy once a year and we talk about Jesus' birthday, even though I know it isn't his birthday, and we, think about Jesus and stuff like that, well, there you go, enemy. I stole the holiday back. That's the way I look at it. Same way with Easter.
Oh, yeah.
My grandkids always make me cool stuff at church for Easter. Why would I want to tell them not to celebrate Easter? They know there ain't no real bunny hopping around laying eggs. We celebrate it for Jesus. So people get all hung up on holidays.
As
I
long
don't.
as you're doing it.
In fact, I told a story Shifty Sunday exactly about why I don't. Because Father basically slapped me in the face and showed me over 20 some years ago about that stuff. So, nah, you'll never catch me dissing nothing. Not my job. That's between you and the Father, whether you celebrate a holiday or not.
As long as you're doing it for all the right reasons.
Yep. I mean, once a year at least, people might go to church.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe twice a year. They'll do Easter and Christmas sometimes for the kitty pageants and stuff. So hey, if once a year, that's some way to, if it. Granted, it was all done by pagans, and all that's true, and the tree, and it's all true. I know. I studied. I understand. I just don't care because I took it back. You know what I mean? And if it gets people to church once, twice a year, I guess Satan's plan backfoiled again, as always. So that's what I think about holidays. If you want to do them, enjoy it. Glorify the Father in your doing so. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Stop letting man tell you everything you do is wrong. Man tell you everything's wrong just because they don't want to see you have fun. You think Father don't like fun? Father loves fun. And he loves making children happy. More than anything, he loves making children happy.
I'll tell you, here's the thing. As long as you're doing it for the right reasons, and like you said, it may bring people into church. It'll bring people into church once a year, then so be it. Celebrate the birth of Jesus. Celebrate the resurrection of Jesus. I mean, that's all it's all about. You could take something bad and make it good. All of those holidays, every single one of them, used to be pagan holidays, but we took them and made them into something good. I mean, the Father did. The Father took and made them into something good. And that's what you always say, the Father always takes something bad and makes it into something good.
It's all in your intent. It's all in your heart. Period. It's that simple. Like I said, the devil will use man to whisper all kinds of stuff to you to tell you you're sinning. And if you believe it, well, then you're probably sinning. I wouldn't do it. If you feel convicted to not celebrate a holiday, then by all means don't. But don't dog other people that aren't convicted about it. That's the main thing. Ties into what I said on Shifty Sunday. Don't throw stumbling blocks down in front of your brother. Don't do it. It's not good.
Now, here, I want to, I see that you opened the phone lines, and that's fine. But I wanted to go into a story. I want you to tell me if you've heard about these kind of things before. And I don't even remember what age I was, but I know I was real little. I was probably about 3 or 4 years old. And I was sleeping, and I looked up, and I think maybe I might have been dreaming. I don't know. Couldn't tell at that time, between a dream and everything felt so real. And anyway, I look up and I look in the mirror, and this green looking hag come out of the mirror. It was trying to grab me and pull me through the mirror. And this was a recurring nightmare that I would have for a good better of a year, I would say. And they talk about the sleep hag. And I'm wanting to know if you ever heard of the sleep hag before.
Oh, well, yeah, that's big in the sleep paralysis community, the shadow man and the hag. The hag's real famous.
Yeah. Huh. Now, I remember on a Shifty Sunday, I do remember when we had Stonebender on the show, and he had talked about the sleep hag, but I wanted to bring it up in here, and I wanted to know your thoughts on it, brother, because I want to know if you think whether or not that the sleep hag is being somehow if she's like preys on young children or if it's everyone that she preys on, because it seems to me that I've been preyed on at that time, and then after that I didn't have no more dreams about her. It went on for about close to a year, and then it just suddenly stopped. So I'm wondering if it's targeted around children about the same age, and then it stops once you reach a certain age, or if it's targeted towards all people of all ages.
Well, from my research into the sleep paralysis and stuff, it don't seem to have an age factor. The hag seems to mess with everyone, whatever age. There's also the top hat guy that a lot of them see, and also a lot of them see him when they trip on DMT too. And there's the shadow people. So they're all associated with sleep paralysis. But yeah, I haven't noticed any type of age. I mean, they attack people that had sleep paralysis as children, grown-ups. It don't matter. They all talk about the hag. Well, not all, but I mean, a lot of them see the hag. A lot of them see the top hat guy. A lot of them see shadow people. A lot of them just have an oppressed feeling, more or less.
I wonder if it's almost as though, I know sleep paralysis is a physical thing, but I'm wondering, I've always wondered that since I was a little kid, if it was something, if it's how they kind of groom you for possession is what I'm trying to get at, is how, I won't say Satan, but the enemy in general, how they would groom someone for possession because they get them scared. I mean, that's the first thing about possession is they play on your fears. So I just wondering if it's all sleep paralysis, the physical part, or if it's both physical and spiritual.
Well, I don't know. I'd say there's a spiritual aspect to everything physical. We tend to forget that. It's all tied together. That's why Jesus says things like what you bind here, you bind there, what you loose here, you loose there. It's all interwoven. It's all tied together. But as far as it's a way to groom them, I don't know. I mean, if you already are having sleep paralysis, you've already got problems. There's already a doorway. You know what I mean? Where you wouldn't be having sleep paralysis. That wouldn't be getting there. Right. Next caller, Bob says. I agree, Bob. Please call somebody.
All right.
Caller. No, but I think, yeah, if you're already suffering from those kind of attacks, you're already open. You need to figure out what's going on. Because if you're filled with the Holy Spirit, that stuff don't come around. You don't want no parts of it. It don't even want to be anywhere near a Holy Spirit filled person. Trust me. It flees. But to say it flees from you, that's for real. Don't like hanging out. The demons were never happy when Jesus walked up. It wasn't like, oh, Jesus, how you been? We missed you, dude. It's like, please don't. What are you doing here already? It ain't your time. Please don't hurt us. Yeah, they don't like it. So if you're already having sleep paralysis, you're already open. They don't need any more doorway. You're already open to some type of spiritual attack. So figure out what it is. Close it.
Well, like I said, I haven't had that since I was about 4, maybe 5 years old. That happened to me.
Well, no, I was talking in general to people.
Oh, okay.
Anyone that's under sleep paralysis. You was asking about sleep paralysis.
Oh, okay.
And whether it was a gateway. Yeah, it's a gate. Well, no, it ain't a gateway. It basically is a gateway, but a sure sign that you already have a gate open, if you know what I mean.
And see what.
Huh? I thought I heard Miss Armor say something.
No, my daughter's talking in the background.
Oh, okay. Well, they sound so much alike on the I want to say on the phone, but not on the phone, on your computer. They sound so much alike. They do.
Oh yeah, Bob would say, Art Bell would say, going, next caller. Art Bell was awesome.
Yeah.
Man, I used to watch him a long time. And then there was another one. What's the other old show I always watched? Oh, shoot. Can't remember what it was called now. It was another old series, sort of like Art Bell's. Sort of like Coast to Coast, but it was, an hour of the time. Hour of the time. Or something like that. It was, what's his name? I got all his stuff downloaded. William, Bill, Bob will know. I know Bob will know. He's an old timer like me. Listen to all that stuff. Who am I trying to think of, Bob? The Hour of Time or Hour of something. They killed him on his front porch. Shot him down long time ago. He was awesome too, anyhow. Back in the same time as Art and them, basically. You don't know that one, Bob? Wow, I'm surprised. He was really big back then. I know you'll know if I think of his name. He's a real big conspiracy guy. I think he's the one that got caught up in with Alex Jones was dissing him and calling him a drunk and stuff. And it wasn't long after that he got killed. He always did an awesome show. Hour of Power or Hour of Time or something it was called.
Oh, I think you're thinking of Hour of Power.
Nah, I think it was an Hour of Time. I don't know.
I always thought it was.
If I quit thinking of it, it might come to me.
Yeah. Huh. But I never knew that he was shot on his front porch. I didn't know that.
Yeah, basically, I think he made it up a step or two.
Damn.
They took him out. Of course, nothing was ever done. He was a crazy man. Yeah.
So
he was awesome back in his day.
While we're waiting for the next, not next, but for our caller here, I want to remind everyone that this Thirsty Thursday, I got talked into. I wasn't going to do. Oh my God, am I still alive? What the heck happened? I'm getting a circle here. Can everybody hear me?
I still hear you.
Oh, okay. Whew. Boy, that scared me. You have no idea. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, I was thinking about just not even having the Thirsty Thursday, but I will go ahead and have that because by the time the Thirsty Thursday comes out, it comes on at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. So by the time that comes on, everyone's had their Thanksgiving dinner. Everyone's had time to eat and relax and all that good stuff. And they could use they would probably enjoy a good scripture reading by that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Dan's going to do something for Thanksgiving night. I think he mentioned it on Monday. And so I'll probably hop in with him.
Kind of joke.
William Cooper, that was his name. Bill Cooper. That's who I was trying to think of. Bill Cooper. He was big time back. He did the Hour of Time or something like that. Weekly show. Radio show. Hey, Connie said she's going to call in. Awesome. Turkey Thursday. Yeah, you could do an earlier broadcast. I don't know what time Scarab's going to go, but you know him. It probably won't be till 10, 11 o'clock at night, my time. East Coast.
Are
you still here?
Here's what I have so far. Okay, let's see here. It was called Oh no, that was his book. Behold a Pale Horse.
Oh yeah, Behold a Pale Horse. Awesome book.
Um,
Also, what's the one that Behold a or Beyond? See, there's a girl that wrote one too. Hers all about SRA. I have that book too. Beyond the Pale. No, it's something. It's upstairs. I don't know. My mind ain't working tonight. I told you I wasn't into live. My mind's not functioning.
okay, there was a whole conspiracy thing involved with him, is what you said.
Well, yeah, they killed him and then got away with it, just like everything else.
Mm.
Took him out, man. They took Bill out a long time ago. Right on his steps.
Okay, what was the other show you're talking about? Was that with Art Bell?
Hour of something. Oh, Art Bell show. That was Coast to Coast.
Coast to Coast, right?
Those was called Hour or something. Hour of Time, or I don't remember. I got a bunch of them downloaded. Every time I come across one, I grab it because they're classics. If you never, just type in Bill Cooper in YouTube and look for Hour, you'll see what it's called. There'll be a bunch of them. Watch them. That dude was speaking a lot of truth a long, long time ago. Well, good enough that he's got shot in his steps, so might want to pay attention to what he had to say.
No, is his channel still?
Although I must admit,
This call is being recorded.
yeah, I must admit though, he did lean a little towards the alien angle, but he also believed in Jesus and stuff. He talks about Jesus, but yeah, Bill was it was more along the UFO type stuff lines that he talked about mostly. CIA stuff, all kind of awesome stuff, man. Check out Bill Cooper. Yeah, that'd be the correct spelling. Bill Cooper, William Cooper. Whitney Schreiber. Oh, yeah. Thought it was Schreiber. Is it Schreiber now? That's interesting. All right, I'm going to unmute the caller.
All right.
You're live, caller. Caller. Can you hear us?
Uh-oh.
I unmuted them, but I don't hear them.
Yeah, I don't hear him. And my back's hurting.
Going. Next caller. No, we don't hear you. It's probably Connie. She said she's going to call, but we can't hear you, dear. I hope it's Connie and not Bob, and I want to call Bob dear. It's not politically correct to call Connie dear either, but I'm old school. What can you say? See, she left. I called her dear. I didn't mean to. It's a habit.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. She'll probably be back. If it was Connie, I think it was Connie. But
speaking of deer and hunt and all that other good stuff, I was watching Chef Gordon Ramsay the other night, and he had there was a person on there that the whole entire city was against because she had went and copyrighted the word Hun. She had this whole thing where she had a copyright on the word Hun. And
yeah, we've seen that. I seen that one with the wife a while back when it was on years ago. I seen that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how can you copyright the word Hun?
I don't know.
That's what I call my wife. I call her Hun more than anything. Ask anybody. I never say her name. All right, she's back. Let's unmute.
All right.
See if we can hear him. You should be live.
Hello, guys.
Hey, there she is.
Sorry, I don't know. There was some kind of problem with me putting this code in, and I had to just hang up and call back. So I got a question for you guys. What do you think? Do you think that we've been doing this all along, and it's just because we have access to the computer now and can see things and really verify things that that we think it's just been happening for like 20 years or something? The Mandela effect.
Well, we talked to this. Oh, go ahead, brother.
Well, I know you have a lot to say about this because you've been you've seen this back in the 70s and whatnot. But I definitely think that since there's more information out there and everyone's got a channel on YouTube now and it's been talked about more and the information's right there at your fingertips, definitely, and you can look everything up. Yeah, I happen to agree that it's more now more than ever in the past like 4 or 5 years or so that that it's just gained more popularity and people are are more knowledgeable about it that can actually talk about it now because you couldn't do that about 20 or 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'll let Armor up. He's got I know he's got a lot to say on the subject, so I'll let him handle it from here on out.
No, not really a lot. We just talked about it Sunday, but yeah, I think it's been going on probably forever. I mean, I don't know because, like I said about on Sunday, when I learned the Lord's Prayer when I was 7 or 8, every week in church we'd learn the Lord's Prayer. In Sunday school, it's just what you did. That's one of the main things in Sunday school. You always said the Lord's Prayer, and we always said transgressions. And then all of a sudden, by the time I was probably like, well, that would probably been when I was 6 or 7, those couple of years. But then when I was like 8 or 9, all of a sudden they just started saying trespasses. And I never, I was 8 or 9. So I just started saying trespasses like everybody else and didn't think anything of it. So was that a Mandela effect back then? Who knows? I don't know. But something happened. You know what I mean?
Well,
now I know something happened. But
yeah, we don't know what all kind of technology they had back then either that they didn't share with us. Because
I don't think
computers were.
See, I don't think the Mandela effect has anything to do with technology myself. Absolutely nothing. I think it's all spiritual.
You think it's well, I read a book called Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh, and he has, I don't agree with everything he says, but he has, he supposedly had a conversation with God, and he said that there are different, like dimensions or whatever that take us, in other words, it depends on what decision we make in life, which road we go. Maybe we're weaving in and out of stuff. Maybe if you take and you speed out in front of a car and you get hit in this dimension, but if something happens down before that and you decide, no, I'm not gonna pull out, then your life goes in another direction. I don't believe that it's a simulation, though. I don't think it's a simulation, but it's a biological one. I don't think that it's a computer. I don't think we're computer people, like they're trying to say, like the Matrix.
No, I don't think it's a simulation. Although, I mean, Father's totally in charge, and did he create a simulation? Who knows? You know what I mean? I can't discount the simulation theory just because it's a possibility, but if it is, I know who created the simulation. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know whose simulation we're in. The enemy ain't in charge. But yeah, I don't think it's a simulation the way they do. I basically think this is it. There's one of us. Everything else is another way for our human minds to cop out of the fact that we're going to die and we're going to face something. So if we can think there's multiple dimensions, cool. If we can think reincarnation, cool. I mean, that's why all these types of thinking spread up, because man don't want to die. So they'll grasp at anything that makes them think there's another chance, rather than face the fact that this is the only one. Get your crap together because it's about done. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't really buy into that there's more than one of us, because I don't know. It just don't sit right
let me tell
with
you, Right. I don't think there's more than one of us either, because when I had my near-death experience, I didn't bring back all the memory of what happened there, because I had more knowledge when I was there. I just know that I did. But I never got the feeling like there was just anybody else but me. I was always just me, whatever. I mean, however, I felt like, God's love I was a part of it. I mean, like we're all connected, and I could feel his love and his energy. There's no human way to express what that feels like. And when I came back into my body for 3 hours, I felt that love, and it's the most awesome thing you can ever think.
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, I didn't want to come back, but I wasn't allowed to. I had to come back here. That's, it's just plain and simple. And, but you are a part of his energy, and even though we are energy beings, even biological things are energy beings. We burn fuel. We have atoms that run around all over our body all the time that we don't feel. Even solid things are not really solid in the scheme of things. They're just moving so slow or whatever that you can't put your hand through them. But yeah, I don't feel like there's more than one of me at all. I'm not sure how it works, but it did for a while freak me out, and I had a hard time when I saw those two buildings appear and then disappear 2 weeks later, these big old buildings. I thought I was crazy. I thought, oh my God, what is going on? And that's when I got on the internet and started trying to figure out if anybody else was seeing stuff, And I wasn't the only one that saw those things. I had my ex-husband with me, and he saw them too. We pulled off the road and looked at it and said, what is this? And then when we went back by 2 weeks later, we're like, what? Where'd it go? And there were grown trees where it was. So there's no way that could have been. So they said, well, they tore it down. Well, no, they couldn't have. It would have been just dirt there. So I don't know. It's scary in a way, but I tell you what, I came to the conclusion that we're here. This is what we have. We have to work with it, and we have to go with it, and just each day say, okay, whatever you got for me today, God, I'm here, and I'm going to get through it the best that I can, and just trust that he knows what he's doing, and when we die, we'll die. I mean, yeah, everybody does, but I tell you what, I wouldn't want to live in these bodies forever because it hurts to be in these bodies a lot of times. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's because we weren't never meant to be in this stuff, in my opinion. But that all ties back into the Old Testament stuff. Yeah, we weren't never meant to be in this skin. We got clothed with skin. It wasn't never meant to be. That was the fall.
Right.
Part of the fall. Part of the punishment. Part of the fall. Not the punishment of the Father either. The Father don't punish. Part of the consequences. That would have been a better word to use. Part of the consequences of the fall. That's what I should have said.
Well, what you reap, you sow. Jesus says that,
Hmm?
It may not come back to you right away, but it will come back to you.
Right. And then most people want to blame God because they're sowing what they reaped. Cracks me up, really. Although it's very sad.
I think the hardest thing for people to go through it, and I had a couple of nieces who lost their children at an early age, within the first month or two, and it's hard to understand why God would allow that. But I think that it's just part of that is our natural nature, our biological bodies. And the soul goes back to heaven anyway. Your soul does not die. It's hard to explain to somebody when you've experienced that near-death experience that you just know because it wasn't a dream. I don't believe it was a dream anyway. And I really should have died, and I didn't. And so, well, I guess I did for a minute, or I don't know how long it was, but I think that he wanted us to go forth and multiply. He wants you to multiply. He wants to, and I think he also experiences life through us too, because he's with us. I mean, he's omnipresent and all-knowing. I don't know. I don't claim to understand it all. I do go to church and I do read and I do learn stuff. And every time I read the Bible, I get different perspectives on what they're saying in there. And we all got to realize that translation is the one reason why we have so many different churches, because this church will translate what they're saying one way, and this one over here will translate what they're saying another. And then there's people that write books on, and call them Bibles and say they're this other Bible and that other Bible. But a lot of things I think got distorted in the translation. It's like, to me, when in the Old Testament, when it says, well, maybe it's in the New Testament, I don't know, when it says if your hand sinneth, cut it off. I think they're talking about the sin, not your hand, because God tells you not to defile the body. He said, don't, it's the temple of God. I think he's talking about the sin, just like love the sinner, but hate the sin. Don't you agree?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's why it's so important to have your own relationship with and read the Bible yourself with the Spirit, because I've said it many times and I'll stand behind it. 99.9% of everything that we're being taught by man, who is just repeating what they learned from their dad and their grandpa and their great-grandpas, the normal doctrines that's been passed down. I don't care what religion, I don't care what branch of what religion, all of it is corrupt. No one's, until you start digging yourself, reading yourself, and let the Spirit reveal what's wrote there to you, you're lost. And that's why he tells us to seek out our own salvation, to be Bereans, to constantly be in the Word, to study to show ourselves approved. He tried to tell us a million ways. You've got to do this yourself. I'm going to come help you. I'm sending someone. They're going to tell you all the truth. They're going to remind you of everything I said. Don't worry about what's written there, because what's written there is written by people, and it's been put in a certain order by people. So it's only the Spirit. Only the Spirit can show you the truth, period. No man is ever going to show you the truth. A man might tell you the truth somewhere along your journeys in this world. You might hear the truth coming from a man, but till you take it to the Spirit, it's the only thing that can tell you what's true, period. And that's why I tell everyone, take everything to the Spirit, especially if I say something and you disagree. Cool. We're meant to disagree. That's how we learn. Take it to the Spirit. I know it'll back me up. If you know what I mean? So, and that's the way anyone it should feel. If you're truly in touch with the Spirit and saying what the Spirit wants you to say, it's going to back you up, because it's the truth. It can only speak the truth. So if someone takes the truth to the Spirit's either going to confirm it or deny it. So you trust no man. You listen. I still go listen to sermons, and I don't do church. I haven't done church since I was a child, basically. Well, the Jehovah's Witnesses for a long time when my kids were little, my children. But yeah, I still go listen to sermons, and heck, I put them up every Wednesday. Wednesday Word is sermons that I've listened to that helped me somewhere along the way. I still listen to stuff, but it's all about a person. You've got to read it yourself. And when you come across something that makes you wonder, that's when you stop. And that's when you take it to the Spirit. It's like, I don't understand this. What's this mean? And then hold on, because it'll blow your mind. It'll show you what it means. And you'll realize, wow, why has no one ever told me that? Well, because most no one's ever asked. So they don't know. They just know what they've been taught it means. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and God does guide you in many different ways without coming right out and standing before you. He opens doors that if he blocks a door from you going through it, that's usually a sign that's probably not what you should be doing. one of the things that he led me to do was about 5 years ago. Oh, it might have been more than that. It might have been more like 7 years ago. I'm 63 years old, even though I don't look it. He led me to start singing and publicly, and now when I sing gospel music, people tell me they can feel like they've been touched by God. It's not me. It's not anything I'm doing, but I think God is using me, using my voice to, I don't know, reach out and touch people, or connect, or whatever you want to call it. And it really has turned my life around. My whole life is in a different direction now than what it used to be, And I feel blessed to be able to get to do something like that. And I can feel God go through me when I sing a gospel song. So, all you got to do is ask him to guide you in the right direction, and you'll know when it's the right thing, because you won't have a question about whether it's a good thing or not.
Yeah, I know that my whole life has changed. I mean, getting closer to the Father. It's, I didn't go through the experience that you went through, of course, and but I did go. We all go through certain changes and stuff like that. We all go through trials and tribulations, I feel, and it brings us to the point in our lives. We get to the point in our lives where it's pretty much do or don't. You either go to the Father. You could either go to the Father and become, I guess you can call it reborn or whatever, or you can go the other way and be lost. You'll be lost the rest of your life, is the way I see it. If we don't try to follow Jesus, and that's just my opinion anyway.
Yeah, and that's awesome because, like I've said before, we all have a job to do, and we all have different things to do in the Father's will. And if your part of His will is your voice and singing and blessing people with it, that's awesome. Because I definitely believe that could be one of the gifts. Like I've said, we've all got, some are put here to teach, and some are put here to preach, and some are put here to pray, and some are put here to heal, and some are put here to paint, and some are put here to sing, and some are put here to dance, and some are put here to make us laugh. And we all have different jobs in the kingdom. So yeah, I highly believe He could be using your voice to bless others, and that's awesome if He is. That's a great gift.
Right.
I wish I could sing because I love singing.
Right. It's not anything I personally, it's not me that's doing it. I'm just a vessel for Him to use. And I get up and ask Him, a lot. I get up and tell God good morning every morning, Jesus. And I ask them real often to use me to help other people in whatever way He needs. Maybe it's a hug, maybe it's a kind word, maybe there's some chore I can do to help someone, or advice, and usually people don't want advice; they just need somebody to listen. So I ask God to help me do that, and quite often He does, because it's not like I'm going out and seeking somebody. It'll just happen naturally.
Yep, and that's exactly the way it has to happen. We just have to be open to the Spirit, because, well, like it's described a good bit in the new, it's a roaring wind. It's just like a breeze. It's a wind. You can't really tell where it's going or what it's doing, but it's doing something, and we just got to be willing to go wherever it blows us and do whatever it's telling us to do at that moment. And it's always fun and amazing.
It is. And like I said, it's really changed my life around, because I don't even have the same mindset that I used to have. We all grow up and we get this, well, we got to have the picket fence and the in the nice car and the nice job and things. And things are not that important to me anymore. If I have what I need, that's all that matters. Not what all these fancy smancy things that are out there in the world. Those are like grown up toys or whatever. It makes me happy to be able to do something nice for people because it brings me joy too. And but it not for their thanks or their blessing or not like excuse me, that's the wrong word. Not for them to admire me more for it, but just because I know they're being helped, you know. And then it turns around and God gives it back to me because I'm getting a new roof put on my house. I'm on disability until I have 2 more nerve surgeries. And I've got a tree fell on my house and put a hole in my roof. Well, Christmas in Action, because I am on disability, came out and said they're going to put a $3,000 roof on my house. And so God gives it back to me in ways like that, which really, really I feel blessed about.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. That's amazing. Oh, glory to the Father for that. And yeah, Father always takes care of us. You know what I mean? He knows what we need. If we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, like you said, just following his will and doing what we're supposed to be doing. When we need a roof, we'll get a roof. You know what I mean? We need whatever you need, you'll get. Father knows what you need.
That reminds me of that old joke about there was a flood and the man was on top of the house and he prayed and said, God save me. And then a boat came and he said, no, God's going to save me. And then a helicopter came and he said, no, I'm not going with you. God's going to save me. And he drowned. And when he got to heaven, he said, I thought you would save me. And he said, well, I sent a boat and a helicopter, you know.
Yeah.
So I know you've heard that joke.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
okay,
that's a good one.
Well, I'm going to get off here. Go ahead.
Now I was going to say, yeah, that's a good one. And that's true. I mean, and that's exactly what most of us do. We'll pray. Well, first of all, we're praying for ourselves, which that's not really the way to do it, but we'll just go with the flow. We pray, and then we wait for an answer, and we never hear the answer because we're too busy waiting for some way man told us we would hear an answer instead of realizing he might answer us through a song or a book or a video or a person or anything. He always answers us, but most of the time we don't catch the answer because we're not looking for it or it isn't what we wanted to hear. So that's a perfect analogy. The guy on the roof, you know, that's what most of us do. Right. You're on the roof praying for God to save you, and he tries to save you, and you miss it. You don't understand.
Yeah, well, but most of us go through life, and I'm guilty of this too at some points in my life of thinking only about my own self instead of the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is it's all one. It's all connected. You know, everything you do, everything you say, if somebody hears it, is going to affect your life as well as theirs. It's not just going to affect just you, you know. It's cause and, let's see, what is it? Cause and effect or whatever. Okay, guys. Yep. Well, I just wanted to call in and you know, just chat on here instead of online. And I'm going to get off here. Maybe somebody else will call in and share.
Yeah, hopefully. It's always great hearing from you, Connie Joe. So thank you very much.
Well, I love you guys. I love everybody.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Cool. Well, that was a good call, huh?
Oh, yeah. I love Connie Joe. She's awesome. Even if her name's flip-flopping around on us all the time, I still love her. Yep, good call. That was a good call. Got into some good stuff. Prelim's talking about the beggar and Lazarus, or Lazarus and the rich man. Yeah, the beggar and Lazarus. Lazarus and the rich man parable. He's talking about in chat. That's a cool parable. It's highly misunderstood, but it's cool. It's all about Jesus. Although most people think it's about heaven and hell, but
Yeah.
it's all about Jesus. It ain't really anything about heaven and hell. It's about Jesus.
Yeah, I always thought it was about heaven and hell because the way they describe it, the rich man and Lazarus. Is that what you're talking about? The rich man and Lazarus?
Yeah, when they die, and the one's on the one side of the chasm filled with fire and the pictures, and the one's on the other side, and he said, just give me a drop of water and all that. Yep. Yeah, most people think that's about heaven and hell, but again, that's another one. Pray about it, read it, let the Spirit show you what that's really about. It's incredible. It's all about Jesus. 100% about Jesus. It's awesome. And 0% about heaven and hell.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I think we've had a pretty good Taco Tuesday so far. You want to do me a favor and give this room one last shout out? I don't think we did it at the beginning of the show.
I was going to say one last one. We ain't even did one first one yet. All right, we got CJ Wood, of course, in the house. Just got off the phone with us. Awesome call. Pre-love minimal in the house. Spitting out the parable. Love it. Salted Cedar in the house. Go Kart Bob. JM in the house with us. Said happy almost Turkey Day. Almost. I can't wait. I love going down to my daughters, seeing my grandkids, chewing on some turkey. Oh, yeah. Happy day for Pat. Let's see. I think that's everybody. Let me scroll on up. Make sure I didn't miss. Oh, that's right. Dave East was here. I don't know if he's still hanging with us or not. Don't want to miss Mr. East. But that's everybody in the shout out. Welcome. Hello. How do everybody? Father's love. Happy early Turkey Day. All that stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's yeah. Oh, I'm reverbing back. What the heck? What is going on there? But no, you know what? I think it's been a wonderful Taco Tuesday, and I appreciate you doing this. I know that you didn't really want to at first, but I think it worked out great. How about you?
Yeah, sorry, I was typing in chat. Yeah, JM, I will be having the Wednesday word tomorrow, as always. It's the end of the series, actually. So it's a double Q&A. There's a Q&A about mental health and demons, and then there's the second half will be a Q&A just about the whole series overall. So, yeah, it's a little over an hour long this week because I just put the last two segments together. So, yeah, it's pretty cool, especially the second half. First half ain't bad either, but now I don't take calls on the Wednesday word because it's just a premiere. It's not really live. The next time I'll be live will probably be if Dan does a Thursday night show, which he was talking about, a Thanksgiving special. I'll probably hop in there with him. And me and Suso were supposed to go live this week, but I haven't heard from him. So, but that's the Sus. We'll get it together. So I'll be live with Suso one of these days here on his channel.
I'll be looking forward to that. It ought to be a pretty good chat. The Suso's a good guy, man. I like him a lot, man. In fact, he was one of our first callers when we started the show, when we started the call-ins.
He was our first caller, I think. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, and he was one of the first, well, other than Dan, who I met Suso through, but yeah, Sus. I've been talking to Sus for quite a while. He's a good man, awesome dude. We believe the same things almost, like I told him a million times. We just use different terms, but we're talking about the exact same thing. I'll get him on board. You watch. He'll crack someday. Nah, Sus knows I'm messing with him. He's fine. He's on board. He just, different terms, man. Can't get so caught up in terms like most people do. Let the terms go, man. Pay attention to what they're saying, what's in their heart. That's what matters. You can hear it. Spirit speaks to spirit, whether they're using the same language or not. Trust me.
Well, what do you think, man? You think we might get any more calls, or you want to go ahead and wrap this one up?
JM saying they'll call in next time. If you want, call in now, JM.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you have the number up? I'm not in StreamYard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you got time and you want to now, JM, call in.
We'll
The
wait.
next time me and Hebrew will be doing calls will probably be what? Shifty Sunday, I guess, would be the next live show. Yeah.
Shifty Sunday, yeah. But
Wait a few seconds for the delay and see what JM says.
oh yeah. But I will be doing the Thursday. I guess I already mentioned that though.
Yeah, you're gonna put what time you're putting it out? The normal time?
I might put it up the normal time, but do you think maybe I should put it just an hour later? What do you think?
I don't know. You do it what now? 8 o'clock my time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's like 4 California. Yeah, there probably some people may still be eating dinner or not even sitting down to dinner yet. All right, JM said they're gonna give us a call Sunday. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have the phone lines ready Shifty Sunday. We always do. Well, we usually always do. Anymore, we always do. Put it that way.
Unless something goes goofy on those phone lines, sometimes they do.
Yeah, I think I figured out the secret now, though. I got to open all the programs first. Then before I ever come into StreamYard or into the phone conference room, I got to get all the virtual lines hooked up. Seems like as long as I do that before I do anything else, everything seems to work fine. Notice that's why before we started, I had to jump out of StreamYard and back in because you couldn't hear what I was trying to test. Yeah. Hey, cool. We did get a call.
All right, there you go.
All right, I'm unmuting them. You're live. How's it going?
Hello, Armor.
Hey, what's up? Who we got?
Hey, bro. This is Prelim Minimal.
Oh, man, Prelim.
Prelim, right?
Man. Holy moly, I ain't heard your voice in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. I just thought I'd call in. I don't know why. Maybe just, I guess I kind of just need to pray with someone.
Hey, that's always a good thing to do.
Yeah.
What we're here for.
Yeah, and likewise for both you guys and everybody that's Go-Kart Bob, JM, and everyone here. Salted's here. I don't call very often. I just kind of, I don't know, sort of a slow day, and just thinking about my parents and my brother and sister, and I can't really, I can't talk to them about hardly anything except all the mundane world stuff. And it's always been that way. So that always bothered me. I think maybe you guys might have had a similar thing, or maybe not.
Well, I think that's the way it is with most of us. I mean, especially when it comes to the Mandela effect, but even when it comes to the spiritual stuff, I think, like I said, my family I wasn't raised in a Christian household. I used to walk myself to Sunday school. It wasn't like my parents took me or went to church. I just took myself for whatever weird reason, I guess. I don't even contemplate that. But so yeah, I think we all find ourselves in that.
You found some sense of wisdom when you went, even though you sensed probably intuitively I mean, yeah, because I used to go, except I would go to different ones each time just to compare the difference. That I wanted to understand why it was so divided, and what the different interpretations were.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I live out in the country, so there wasn't a lot of choices. But once I got older, I guess that's probably why I delved into everything. I studied Buddhism, Hinduism, the Tao, freaking. Yeah, I studied everything when I got older. Because I was the same way. I wanted to see what everything had to say, and there's truth in everything. But unfortunately, there's lies in everything too, including our own religion. So, but yeah, and as far as trying to talk to our family members and stuff, especially about the spiritual stuff, because I don't even try to talk to them about Mandela effects. I mean, because it don't matter to me. But as far as the spiritual stuff, I'm very loud. Let me check. They're saying I'm very loud. Maybe this mic does weird things. Oh yeah, it's clean up at. No, it's clean up at 90.
Sorry,
back it off.
I got this old cricket phone, and it's probably not very good.
Nah, my mic's possessed. Like Scarab said, that's what I get for getting the mic. I don't know how to turn up the volume on my phone, so sorry. Yeah, you're fine. I think everyone can hear you fine.
Oh, okay.
Nah, my mic just jacked itself up. It does that. This mic's possessed, I'm telling you. Something weird with it. It's a joke. Demons are scared to death to come in here. But yeah, something with Windows and this mic, it'll turn itself up, down. It's weird. And I got all the boxes unchecked to stop it. But...
Oh no, Hebrew's here. Okay. I see JM in chat.
Yeah, what I wanted to say about the spiritual stuff. Always remember it ain't as important to talk to them about it. Not that it isn't important to try to talk to them about it, but it's way more important to pray for them, because our prayers are very powerful. And it's sort of what I was trying to tell Hebrew, like I think it was last week when he was going through what he was going through with his grandpa. We got to remember that Father's way outside of time. He don't do time. Father. Right.
This already happened. Like for him, this already happened, I think.
Right. And what I'm saying is, even if we lose a loved one and we feel they weren't ready or whatever you want to call it, we feel they ain't going to make it, keep praying for them, because Father's outside of time. That don't mean just because we didn't see them make it, don't mean they're never going to make it. You see what I'm saying? Father's outside of time.
Yeah, I know.
So even for my grandpas and stuff that passed long ago, you can still pray for them.
Yeah,
they can still make it. I believe that. I know that. Father's outside of time.
And there's paradox that makes it hard for us to understand. That's why it's mysterious with how God works, because ultimately, I think everyone is correctable from whatever sin or wrongness or their neglect of the Father. I think it's just that the message is that we can't just do anything and then everything will work out okay. It's just that continual pursuit of getting it right that I think God looks for that, and that we're doing it for God's glory, not for our own.
Exactly. Like I was saying Sunday, as long as it's His will, is what it boils to. If we're doing His will, it's going to be awesome. The minute we do our will, well, now we're back in the other guy's side who's in charge of all that stuff. So it probably ain't going to go quite as well. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, and also, like it says, the prayers of a righteous man availeth much. It says that also. And that don't mean the prayers of a righteous man availeth much. Don't mean that righteous man's going to get everything he wants because he prayed for it. That means that righteous man that's praying for a lost loved one, even if they're already passed, his prayers can availeth much.
Mm-hmm. interesting. Can you repeat that last part again?
Well, we know,
Armor?
like I said, we know it says the prayers of a righteous man availeth much.
Yeah.
Now, that don't
Did you
mean
say unveil? I got a warbly phone. Did you
availeth.
say the prayers
Availeth.
of a righteous man?
Yeah.
Unveil?
Availeth. No, availeth. It's an old word.
Availeth.
Yeah,
Oh,
availeth.
sure, availeth. Right.
Works well. In other words, like accomplishes a lot would be another way to put it. Availeth much.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
that's the way it's in the in the Bible. I just quoting the way it's wrote. But
Okay.
that don't mean the prayers of a righteous man availeth for the righteous man, because a righteous man knows he's not praying for himself. First of all, a righteous man knows how to pray, not the way we're taught. So what that means is the prayers of a righteous man availeth much. So if I'm praying for a lost loved one, whether they're deceased or alive, the prayers of a righteous man availeth much. You get what I'm getting at?
Yeah, because
We can
he's
save
already
lost
righteous.
souls with our prayers. We can save lost souls with our prayers. It'll availeth much if we're righteous men
If we're
or
right.
women.
Right.
And we're only made righteous
Yeah.
through Jesus. So
And in some ways, I mean, I know people that don't talk about God, or I mean, when I think about, I know some very unselfish, sweet people, and they seem righteous, yet they don't understand. I've wondered about this, about people that are not Christian, or they don't know if they are, or they just don't think about it. They grew up with it, but then they kind of just, they found, maybe they just reached a kind of a apathy. I don't know, but I mean, they still live in such a way that I have to wonder how God looks at them, even though they don't identify or accept. I don't think they reject Jesus, or they're kind of in that neutral zone. And that's I grew up with a lot of that in Northside Milwaukee, and it was like a shift from the 70s to the 80s. People just stopped going to church where I lived, and I'm just kind of, well, according to the Bible, but I mean, deep inside, I don't feel that they deserve to be separated from God. So I don't know. What do you guys think of that? No man is good, Salted says. Yeah, I think that's why we're here. Is my phone still on? Hello? Armor? Uh-oh.
yeah, you're still on, sir. I was muted up. I'm over putting wood on the fire, but I can hear you.
Okay. Should I repeat that? Did you get that? What I was saying about people kind of in a neutral zone, lukewarm, and all that. Or should I wait? Okay. Technical.
Sounds like we lost him. What happened?
I'm here. Check.
Oh, okay.
Is that you, Joe?
He was waiting on you to answer a question while I was.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was in the bathroom.
There you are. Yeah, as far as lukewarm, absolutely. I think that's.
Yeah.
I think most of them are lukewarm and don't even realize it, honestly.
Yeah.
Because they don't quite understand what not being lukewarm is.
Yeah.
I guess would be a way to put it.
Right. So they're blameless in a innocent kind of way. I guess maybe I shouldn't bring that up because it's more important, to think of those who really need help.
Well, they're not blameless just because they're lukewarm. Actually, according to the Bible, that's the worst thing ever. You're better being super hot or super cold. Because being lukewarm is just sort of going with the, not even really caring one way or the other. So no, I wouldn't say they're blameless. But again, as I said before, though, if it's a family member or something, our prayers can save
what I'm
people.
talking about.
I mean, we can't save people. I sort of said that wrong before, and I want to clarify that before the next video is put out about I said we could save people. We can't save nobody. Only Jesus and the Holy Spirit can save them. But our prayers can work on their behalf to save people, dead or alive, is what I believe, because Father's outside of time.
I believe that too. I believe that. Even if they passed away, I think we could still pray, because somewhere they're wandering in the spirit world, and so we could still pray for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe so. Again, this is just my belief. But
I
know Father's outside time.
That's my intuition.
I mean, I truly believe so. I basically, I would go so far as to say I know so, but I'm just a man. Take it to the Spirit. But yes, we can even affect those who have passed on with our prayers as far as salvation goes for their behalf. I truly believe that. But it's still going to be up to them in that other, you know what I mean? It could get real deep, but Father's outside of time. That's all I can say. He's outside of time. They're not dead to him. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if they died thousands of years ago. They're not dead to the Father. He can easily be right there before that. You know what I'm trying to
I believe that too. I think, well, I dare say, I mean this in respectfully because I don't know. I think hell is actually a lot like where we are now, but it's not put that way in the Bible, because then people would be indifferent and they would think they would not fear, they would not be reverent to God, and they would just kind of dismiss they wouldn't think about God. So I believe it had to be impressed upon us, and that there are worse levels than this reality. Hell, symbolizing, I think, many different kinds of realms depending on the individual, and God doesn't want anyone to suffer in any of those places. And but I had this theory a long time ago, and I think going back to like when I was 18, that hell was maybe just like reincarnation of having to go through this kind of reality again. And when we don't have to, it's kind of it's I don't know. I know that sounds controversial. I'm sorry.
No, I know what you mean. That's just it. We really don't know. We'll find out, but we
why take? Not good to. Wouldn't want to risk it, of course. And I'm just searching for what I'm supposed to do with this, since the Mandela effect. And I'm not really happy with my old artwork or the way I've lived my life. I don't think. I kind of wish I did everything differently. So I just learned from everything that happened, and I pray and I studying the Bible, two different versions, and just praying for guidance and correction. Like if I'm misunderstanding anything, like the whole concept of hell. It was one of the reasons when I was young, I stopped reading the Bible because it was the parts about hell were so disturbing. I just couldn't. And when I would go to a sermon and the minister would talk about how it would just disturb me that I just didn't want to go to church anymore because I couldn't imagine people suffering on it. I just thought it doesn't make sense. And then later I figured it has to be symbolic. So the only way I could get through that now is to interpret that to be symbolic of, and I don't want to presume, but that's how I deal with that sensitivity is, about hell. Figure, souls in the wilderness, and just like the verse about the wandering son who returned back home after he was sort of a runaway in the forest, and and the brother was wondering why the father was so happy to see him come back after he had been so obnoxious. And then the father said to the other son that to rejoice that he has returned, and I think there's something that he ran away. Do you know the specific verse, Armor?
Yeah, the prodigal son, which we all basically are.
Yeah.
He says,
Prodigal.
rejoice,
Yeah.
rejoice, because you've always been with me, but your brother who was lost is now found and come home.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it's basically all of us. I mean, we were all prodigal. We all turned our back on the Father. We all took the gifts he gave us. We all took our inheritance and we ran out into the world. And I mean, I can't say all. I can't speak for everyone. I mean, I know what I did with what he gave me, and it wasn't good.
Yeah, I've heard your story about your wild days.
Yeah, it wasn't good. So,
and
that's living proof. And that's all we can do. Exactly what you're doing. Seek, ask for forgiveness,
Right.
but you're already forgiven. Don't let the enemy trick you into condemnation and guilt, because there is none of that. It's all forgiven. That's one of the worst things. The minute we try to find our way back to the Father, the first thing the enemy is going to do is keep throwing our guilt at us and our all that stuff we did because of
perfection. Or
and believe me, some of what I did.
Like for me, I've been trying to be so perfect, ever since I turned to God, and I'm frustrated because I'm not this kind of.
We're not supposed to be perfect.
God, it just frustrates me. I'm like, how am I supposed to be as good as I'm? How do I stay on the path every day and never fall?
See, that's part of the false indoctrination we've been taught. Is we're supposed to immediately turn into robots and get prettied up and quit swearing and don't smoke. Well, that's a lie.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to be perfect. We're supposed to be perfected constantly. We're supposed to be. That's the whole point of sanctification. See, no one ever talks about sanctification. They talk about justification, but they don't want to talk about sanctification. And that's what we do.
I need to hear more about the sanctification, I think.
Yeah, and that's basically just the walk.
To really understand it. Sanctification.
Yep. Because here, I'll just go over it quick. I went over it before, but it's real quick. It only takes a second.
Yeah.
But let me find my note. I wrote this down a long time ago. Where's it at in here? I got all kind of crazy stuff scribbled in here. works versus grace. So here we go. Salvation.
Okay.
What salvation really is? It's like a 3-part thing. Okay, you got your past tense, which is called justification, and you read about that in like Ephesians 2, 8, and 9. That's the gift of the Father of everlasting life, received by grace through faith in the Son, and it's separation from the penalty of sin. Okay, so when we accept Jesus as our Savior, when we do what we need to do to bring him into our life, we are separated from our penalty. He paid our penalty. He ransomed us back. We're not guilty anymore. The penalty of our sins paid. But that ain't where it ends, although that's where most churches will take you and then leave you at the cross. Because now you got the present tense, which is the rest of our life till we die. It's called sanctification. Read about that in Romans 6. And that's a work that's constantly
let me write that down. Romans 6.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
And that's the work in progress that involves faith and the works or fruit of the believer. It is the separation from the power of sin. That's why I try to tell people that when people say, I'm only human, I can't stop sinning, nothing burns me up more than that, because you're calling Jesus a liar, because he told them to go and sin no more. And he meant that.
We also have, since I began in my walk, I just don't even want I don't want to be that indulgent of going out to the club scene and being in a rock band and all that. I just don't feel the need to do that anymore. And that was years. I mean, that kind of ended in the late 90s for me, because I was doing that since 1982, and it just became exhausting and not really fun. And 92 is kind of when I began with my faith, and since then I still struggle in ways. Mainly, I think it's more of the kind of the uncertainty and trying to strengthen my faith and to just be like a disciple and not a lukewarm Christian.
The main thing to remember is don't listen to people when they try to tell you should stop doing that if you're supposed to be following Jesus, because the Spirit will convict you of whatever quote unquote sin. I don't even like that term, that you need to work on at that time. It isn't going to dump everything on you.
We always know. We know when something's wrong, and we don't, and we resist it, and we resist it.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of new Christians will get caught up on, I better quit smoking because that's what man thinks. But meanwhile, the Spirit's trying to get you to quit being envious of that guy. You see what I'm saying? The Spirit's always working inside. That's why Jesus said, don't be whitewashed tombs. Don't worry about the outside. That means nothing. Worry about work on the inside. The Spirit's going to clean all that inside up long before he worries about what kind of shirt you're wearing. You know what I'm saying? Or whether you got a cigarette.
I hear you.
So, the Spirit convicts us and sanctifies. It tells you what you need to work on. Jealousy, hate, anger, bitterness, frustration, doubt. I mean, these are the type of things we work on, not smoking or drinking.
What about low? I mean, you don't hear this too much. What about low esteem?
Oh yeah, see,
is that in the is that in the Bible?
Yeah, how can you love another if you can't even love yourself?
I've had that problem since the earliest memories. I never.
Oh yeah, me too. I never had friends.
I have really low confidence in myself.
Me too, absolutely. But the spirit can get rid of that.
Oh,
Believe me, I don't. Like I've said many times, if anyone would have told me I'd be online talking to people live all over the place and doing videos, I'd have been like, yeah, right, because I don't talk to people. I never talked to people growing up. I'm not a people person. So
yeah.
and I still don't have great self-esteem, but I'm working on it.
I think you keep a steady, calm composure. You keep a good tone of voice. You're making progress, I would say.
I try. And that's all we can do.
Yep.
And just make progress. It ain't about solving it all before next week. It's just about solving whatever the Spirit's having you solve today. And it might take a year. It might take 5 years. It might take a day. But I mean, I used to have a real bad problem with jealousy. That was the first thing the Spirit got me, because that's what broke me, was the jealousy. And it's gone. I mean, oh, glory to the Father, it is gone. I never have a jealous thought. I never have a jealous anything anymore. And it was all I ever thought about was, you know what I mean? So it's amazing.
No, one of my best friends, his name was Paul. He had a terrible jealousy problem of others. And it would cause him to kind of, like, he wouldn't like it when his friends were, he wanted to control his friends, basically. And he was jealous of them. He had, I won't even go there. Anyway, I've known jealous people, so I know what that's like.
Yep, and that's...
Sorry, I didn't explain.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. And that's how it works, That's what he worked on, and that took a while. It was a good couple of years till... And I mean, I don't even know when it left. That's another thing that's amazing. You'll probably not even notice when it goes, but you'll look back and say, like, wow, I had a jealous thought in a long, long time. You know what I mean? And then we started working on the anger, and that's getting much, much, much better under control, and the road rage and things like that. And I mean, that's what's important. It don't matter what man thinks or sees on the outside. It's what's on the inside. I mean, Jesus said it many ways. Don't be a whitewashed tomb. Clean the inside of the cup. It's all about the inside. And then it'll show on the outside.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to call in, and it's a great message. I appreciate your encouragement and this channel. Thanks, Hebrew, for the channel. And I'll let somebody else call in. I think maybe Salted might call in, or you guys might have more stuff to talk about. Yeah, I'm just finishing this part of Luke 16, and I'm going to check out Romans 6 next.
Yeah, and just do a search like for sanctification, because no one, the churches never talk about sanctification. They'll justify you all day long. You're saved. That's what they like to say. You're justified. Well, yeah, but I ain't sanctified yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that sounds extra important, and that they would miss it is a shame. So that's an important thing, and I'm gonna keep listening, and while I'm gonna finish this and go to Romans, the part you mentioned. Thanks a lot, Armor. God bless you, and happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yep, thanks for calling, Prelim. Good hearing from you. Like I said, been a long time.
Yeah, good to hear from you. All right, have a good night. Talk soon. Bye.
Yep. Good Thanksgiving, brother. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. I meant to hit unmute, and I ended up kicking myself off the screen for a second.
Did you? I couldn't see him in the phone room.
Yeah. Well, that was.
So, if you started would go in, I'd probably have a heart attack.
If who?
He said he's going to get off of here. Maybe Soda wanted to go in. I said if Soda, I'd probably drop out of my seat.
Right, because he don't hardly ever call in ever.
No, that would be a never.
Yeah.
He says volumes and never speaks a word. That's what I love about that man. His videos are awesome.
I haven't seen a Salted Cedar video in a while.
Yeah, I don't think he ain't put any out in a little bit. That last one about JFK, it was like 3 hours, man. I was riveted. I stopped even in the chat. I downloaded that whole thing. That was one awesome stream, like 3 hours and something, and there wasn't a dull second. Like,
wow. Did you happen to catch that? I think it was not this last Taco Tuesday, but the Taco Tuesday before last. Me and Saji got into a little bit about the JFK assassination, and I was showing him videos of how there's several former mafia guys that talk about the same thing. They all say that the mafia was definitely responsible for not only the Kennedy assassination, but it goes into the death of Marilyn Monroe. It goes to Bobby Kennedy's. Those guys didn't like Bobby at all. They couldn't stand him because he was coming down on all the families, you know. He was the one responsible.
I think that one assaulted covered all that and a lot more.
Oh, really?
We did get another caller. Cool.
Oh.
Let me unmute him 1 second. I forgot.
All right.
Oops. All right, you're unmuted, caller. Welcome.
Thank you.
Huh? Hello. Oh. I can't hear him on my end.
He's breaking up.
No.
I can't hear him at all.
He ain't talking yet. Be quiet a minute.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Nope, I see you lighting up, but you're like, no words are coming through. It's like,
You. Convention. Convention. I'm sorry.
did you hear that little bit, Hebrew? Hebrew.
Sorry, I was muted up. I could barely. No, I can't hear him at all.
It was like every other word. It was like,
Yeah.
So maybe they'll call back in. Maybe he had a bad connection. It happened.
Maybe that was Salted Cedar.
I don't think we get so lucky.
Oh, he probably would have done it just because, just to freak you out, man.
Yeah, if they went and try calling back in, might have just been a bad connection. That happens sometimes. That happens to Rain all the time. She has to go in 2 or 3 times to get through sometimes. Say these programs ain't the greatest, but they work about half.
Yeah, about half the time. But you know what, man? We'll give him a little bit of time to call in, but I do have something I go up and do here in a few minutes.
Yeah, we've been going a little while.
Oh yeah, 2 hours.
We'll wait a few, and if they don't call, we can call it a show, I guess.
Yeah.
I was hoping Raven would stop by. I wonder what happened to her.
Who?
Raven.
Oh, really?
Yeah, didn't you say Raven might stop by?
Yeah. Oh man, I wasn't even. Oh man, it must have happened when I was in the bathroom.
They're back on the phone. Let me unmute them. Try again.
All right.
Go ahead,
I
caller.
love you all.
Hey, I heard that.
I love you all. Come now, it's gonna work. There, guys.
Oh man, all I heard was "I love you all," and then guys.
Yeah,
That was-
they cut completely out, man. I don't know. Maybe this wasn't our time.
I guess not. But I did hear he loves us all. So awesome. Love you too, whoever you may have been, mystery caller.
Right? Yeah. Good. It was a good message. It almost sounded like Floyd there for a second.
No, that wasn't the Floyd. I love you all.
Oh, okay.
Don't get me started.
What now? Okay. Oh man. Well, so what are your plans for Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was Suso. Suso's in the chat. That's who it was. I thought by the comment might have been Suso.
Wow. We got Suso in here?
Yeah. Hey, when we going live, brother? Me and Suso was supposed to be going live sometime this week.
Oh yeah. That's right. Man, I can't believe he's in here. That's awesome. We were just talking about him.
Yeah, I love the shoes.
Did you invite him a while ago?
Invite him, no.
Huh. Talk about synchronicities. We were just talking about him and he shows up.
Yeah, he's the king of synchronicity since that meeting. They've been getting all kinds of synchronicities, I believe, from what I've been hearing from the people that were there. Tomorrow night, let me see. Well, tomorrow night I do my Wednesday word at 9 p.m. Eastern. So we could either go, it'll be over by, I think it's like an hour and 15, 20 minutes. It'd be over like 10:15 p.m. Eastern. So we could either go after that or before that. Probably after that would be better. So yeah, we could do it tomorrow night around like 10:30 Eastern or something if you want, or later. Not too late because I have to get up and drive to the daughters for Thanksgiving. But yeah, let me know, Seuss. We can do tomorrow night. He said we could shoot for like 10:30 Eastern. My Wednesday word vid will be done. That would be what I think 8:30 your time or something. I don't know. Them time zones mess me up. All right, cool. Yeah. Shoot me a link, either Hangouts or email. My email's slow though, so it usually takes, I don't know why my email's so weird, but it takes half hour, an hour sometimes for me to get messages.
Huh? I'm sorry. I went to the bathroom again.
Oh, I was just talking to the Suze. Oh, see, whenever Connie tried to send me, it didn't come. I just got her email and it says sent from my phone, but there's nothing there. Bummer.
Huh.
So if you're still with us, Connie Joe, I didn't get whatever you tried to send me. It's just like, all it says is sent from my iPhone. There's nothing attached or anything. So strange. Say the email is goofy.
Down that one.
All right, cool.
So what you want to do, brother?
I don't know. Might as well call it an evening, I guess.
Sounds good to me. Why don't you give the room a final shout out? You want to?
All right.
I mean, you are good at it.
Oh man, yes. I'm reading what Soldit's saying. It's bumming me out, but he's probably right.
Oh no.
He's saying about his videos, he might have to take them all down because of the kid thing. Because if he marks them, and see, that's something. If you mark it not for children, like I did my channel, if they come along and decide, like even with your figures, come to think of it, you may want to check into this a little more. Because if they decide, even though you're saying it's not for kids, but there's things in there that kids will want to see, you can get $40-some thousand fine per video because it ain't marked correctly.
I'm going to look into that. I actually saw a video not too long ago. And remember, this is all just opinion. It's not set in stone or anything. But the video I watched, the guy said that's mostly for people who are the owners, the YouTube owners, and not the YouTube creators. That it's not really that none of us. He basically, the way he put it is that he didn't see us all getting fined, however X amount of dollars it is per video. I don't know where the video is, but I could send you that link if you want to watch it. And the guy is a lawyer too, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, I did watch that one. There was a lawyer guy that did one.
Yeah,
but that's what he was saying. He said he's even a lawyer, and it's so vague. He don't know what kind of advice to give anyone because the law is too vague. They don't determine what they're going to use. You know what I mean? That's the problem. The law is so vague. They could say because there's a G.I. Joe figure in there, it's made for kids and you're busted. They could say because Salted does cartoons type, anime in a lot of his vids, that it could be for kids, even though it isn't, and you're busted. That's how vague the law is. It don't have to be ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, basically. All it has to do is have an object or something that a child would want to see, basically.
Right.
Like a cartoon, a G.I. Joe figure, a toy. So, yeah, the law is so vague, no one really knows what's going to happen. Yeah, and Suso said there's a video out there called Important Video for All Creators Complying with COPA. He said that's a good one. I've watched a few. And I ain't too worried because I just mark mine not for kids, even though all I do is talk about Jesus. But that's probably not for kids, I guess, according to the world. But I don't really have any toy type things or cartoonish. So I'm going with the flow. I ain't worried about it. Father got my back. So I don't know what they're going to do. And until they kick me off, I don't much care. But yeah, for people like you that actually have kid action figures and like Salted, who has the anime, yeah, that it could be interesting, which is horrible because, like I said, Salted's videos are incredible. Such deep meaning. I love his videos, man. I comment on almost every one probably because they're awesome, but that's what YouTube's coming to.
It's such a shame too because there's a lot of content creators like you said. Oh, sorry, am I interrupting you?
Well, I was going to say, if you mark it for children, then comments are turned off.
Right.
And so there's a lot of other stuff. And you'll never get found. So, yeah, it's a mess right now. And the law is so vague, even the lawyers don't know what to say to people.
Yeah, because there's been a lot of lawyers that's talked about, like you said, it wasn't just that one guy, but there's a guy that does G.I. Joe toy reviews, and he's a lawyer, and he says it like what you're saying, you know, there's a lot of loopholes and there's a lot of black holes and a lot of, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but, you know. Shades of gray, you know?
Yep, absolutely. Did I hear someone in the background? How do?
So that, you know, so you're going to be doing a show with Suso tomorrow night, right?
By the sounds of it, after Wednesday Word, tune into the Suso channel.
All right, that sounds good.
Oh, yeah, he said he had to roll. Shoot, I hope he's still here enough to hear this. I did check out the couple links you sent me the other day in your premiere chat when we was talking Suso, the one with Shane and the girl, and then the one you did with that girl. So yeah, definitely interesting. Definitely will be cool to talk about for sure.
So we'll just you got any more callers there, Arm?
Oh shoot, I don't know. I left the call center. Let me look. Nope. I'm gonna end the call center. So
All right, there we go. I'll shut her down.
shut down. All right, I guess I might as well do a last shout out since we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Although it's the same ones I just did.
Oh, well,
Loaded with a wrench, Suso, Go Kart Bob, Pre-Law Minimal, awesome call. CJ Wood, another awesome call. JM in the house, hopefully going to call us Sunday. That should be interesting. They want to talk about, where did they say? The Antichrist and, what else did they say? Sounded cool, though. I can't wait. I don't know where the comment went now, but yeah. Oh, the reason. Yeah, that's right. The answer for the Mandela effect or something to that effect, what causes it, and the Antichrist is what they're going to talk about. So that'll be awesome. Let's see. I don't think we got anyone else I'm missing yet. I'm scrolling up. JM. I think that's it. We did have Dave East earlier, of course, but I ain't seen him talking in a bit. So I think I got everybody. If not, sorry. It's the way it goes. And happy early Turkey Day. I'll see some of you hopefully on Suso's channel tomorrow and hopefully on my channel for the Wednesday Word before that. 9 p.m. Eastern. Q&A session. Pretty interesting.
all right. I'm just getting the music. Where'd that music go?
Cue the music, maestro.
There we go. And, and I just want to say before we go off the air here, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We will see. I'll be doing a show Thirsty Thursday and God's Armor. Oh, sorry. Do you have any plugs you?
What'd you say?
I
We
said,
lost.
do you have any plugs you want to make before we go away?
Well, I just did, but Alarani Nuskental hopped in the chat, and I love saying that. So shout out to them.
Yeah, got to say that.
Yeah, well, we'll be doing, of course. I should be back this Saturday at the After Hours Club again after my little vacation from there. And I believe, like I said, Dan might be doing a Thursday show. I'll be there for Thanksgiving special. And, of course, Shifty Sunday. And that's about it. Wednesday Word and Suso.
Cool.
So, Father's love and blessings, as always, everybody.
All right, cool. Well, from everybody here at the Hebrew channel, we'd like to wish you all happy Thanksgiving, and we will see you guys next time. Play me to the desk, Paul. There we go.